In 1953, two microbiologists, James Watson and Francis Crick of Cambridge University in England, discovered the structure of the DNA, the chemical that encodes instructions for building and replicating almost all living things. This discovery revolutionized science in the 20th century and made possible the era of new biology with fields like genomics or the study of genes, biotechnology, and most recently, deciphering of the human genetic blueprint. A deeper understanding of these building blocks of life helps unravel answers to challenges faced by humanity, answers that can help us find cures to diseases, nature of viruses like COVID-19, and diseases in plants and animals, just to name a few. India has also developed an impressive track record in genomic research and biotechnology. However, the Department of Biotechnology, Government of India, has been working on mission mode to provide a roadmap and an added impetus towards the growing field of genomic research in areas like cancer, hereditary diseases like diabetes, to sequencing of viruses like COVID-19. So in this episode of Science for a Self-Reliant India, we travel to Pune, Bengaluru and Hyderabad to meet scientists and researchers who are working on some of the flagship programs towards making India a global leader in genomic research programs like the Genome India Project, the Human Microbiome Initiative and the National Genomic Core. So let's begin. The Human Genome Project was one of the great feats of exploration in history. The HGP was an inward voyage of discovery led by an international team of researchers looking to sequence and map all of the genes together known as genome of our species, Homo sapiens. Beginning on October 1st, 1990 and completed in April 2003, the HGP gave us the ability for the first time to read nature's complete genetic blueprint for building a human being. The HGP has revealed that there are probably more than 20,500 human genes. This ultimate product of the HGP has given the world a resource of detailed information about the structure, organization, and function of the complete set of human genes. This information can be thought of as the basic set of inheritable instructions for the development and function of a human being. So what is the Genome India Project? Well, it's India's first and most ambitious genome mapping project. The project was started by the Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India in the year 2020. The Department of Biotechnology is the nodal government agency overseeing this endeavor, which is using cutting-edge technology in genetic science and research to map the Indian genome. This project is the first of its kind to explore the vast genetic diversity of India and also to understand the nation's genetic makeup. This flagship project is being spearheaded by the Centre for Brain Research at the Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru. The Centre for Brain Research, or CBR, was established as an autonomous non-private research organization in the Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru. The mandate of CBR is to carry out basic research to understand brain functioning in health and disease. CBR aims to foster focused research programs for interdisciplinary neuroscience research with the primary goal to discover rational therapies for dementia and other age-related brain disorders. This center acts as the nodal point of about 20 institutions, each doing their bit in collecting samples, doing the computations and then the research. The other centers involved are AIIMS Jodhpur, Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology Hyderabad, Center for DNA Fingerprinting and Diagnostics Hyderabad, Institute of Genomics and Integrative Biology New Delhi, Gujarat Biotechnology Research Center, IISER, ISA, IIT Madras, Delhi and Jodhpur, and other premier institutions from varied disciplines across the country are sanctioned by the DBT for a period of 3 years starting from January 16, 2020 for cataloguing the genetic variations in the Indian population. The aim of this project is to ultimately build a database or grid of the Indian reference genome to fully understand the type and nature of diseases and traits that comprise the diverse Indian population.
India is a huge country, extremely diverse. And in a population of 1.3 billion, we have about more than 4,600 population like subgroups, ethnic groups. Some of them are very similar to each other, most of them are not. And we have followed unique socio-cultural practices across centuries, which have led to pockets of variants being more frequent or less frequent across the country.
The major purpose is to use the information gathered to understand fully the nature and types of diseases that affect the Indian population and how they can be tackled at the root. This mega project hopes to form a baseline data after collecting the first 10,000 samples in the first phase from across India to arrive at a representative Indian genome. This program will provide new insights and thus enable new and novel interventions in healthcare, medicine and life sciences. A genome is all the genetic material in an organism. It is defined as an organism's complete set of DNA, including all its genes. Each genome contains all the information needed to build and maintain the organism. The human genome is a sequence of about 3 billion nucleotides, the basic structural units of the DNA, represented by 4 letters A, C, G and T. 0.1% of it differs between any 2 individuals on an average. These genetic variations among individuals are crucial for understanding our disease predispositions, rare inherited disorders, determine our response to drugs, as well as help track migration and evolutionary patterns of population groups.
We have been, as scientists and clinicians, they are with caveats involved, they have searched against reference databases available worldwide. Technically, we need to know the variations that are more prevalent or less prevalent in our population, and then we will be able to understand like what causes certain diseases in our population. A reference database for our population will be extremely helpful in teasing out the debilitating mutations, the harmful variations from the beneficial ones or the neutral ones, and how they could be contributing to the disease specificities in our certain population groups.
The results from this project would be a valuable national resource for the country. They will collectively facilitate future large-scale human genetic studies for researchers across India. Precision healthcare. This program will help in devising personalized medicine, anticipating diseases before they occur, and customizing treatment according to the genome of the patients. It would also help us to know why some diseases are found in India but not elsewhere. Gene sequencing has given scientists the tool to identify the genes that are critical to life and which can be separated to understand their effect to give rise to diseases, and thereafter find genetic ways to counter these challenges.
The resource that is being generated, this database, this exhaustive database of variations in our population, it's a national resource. And it will be extremely important in healthcare scenario in the future for our country, because we will be able to go for more affordable diagnosis. And once you have a reference database with sequencing, which will give you the information of each and every base in the genome. So this resource, this national resource, is extremely important in facilitating large-scale genetic studies in the future. And as I already said, it will be an excellent database for screening mutations that could be causing diseases.
The study will also help us to understand why some people respond to some drugs and why some develop adverse reaction to them depending upon their genetic makeup. The project will also help build an ecosystem and technologies for carrying out large-scale and cheaper human genetic studies in India. Global science would also benefit from this mapping project, as it is taking place in one of the world's most diverse gene pools. The project is also said to be amongst the most significant of its kind in the world because of its scale and the diversity it would bring to the field of genetic studies. With the aim of uncovering the link of our microbiome to diseases, India launched another ambitious project named Human Microbiome Project. This union-funded 150 crore project was initiated in 2019 by the Department of Biotechnology. The flagship initiative, which uses state-of-the-art research techniques, is the Human Microbiome Project. The human microbiome is the aggregate of all microbiota that reside on or within human tissues and biofluids, such as the skin, mammary glands, small and large intestines, uterus, lungs, oral mucosa, conjunctiva, and gastrointestinal tract.
The microbiome varies as per diet, environmental conditions, your genetics, and hence it is important to study how it varies in different geographical parts. Studies have shown that all across the globe, different parts of the globe, people have different microbiome.
This study is being led by Pune's National Center for Microbial Resource, which is a part of the National Center for Cell Science. NCC is an autonomous organization under the Department of Biotechnology, Government of India, and is located in the campus Savitribai Phule, Pune University. NCCS has been at the forefront of basic research in diverse fields of cell biology, especially those addressing important human health issues such as cancer, metabolic disorders, and infectious diseases. NCCS has been performing cutting-edge research in cell biology, immunology, and genomics. It is also providing valuable services as a national animal cell repository and supporting human resource development through various teaching and training programs. Advances in research in recent years have now made it possible to understand this unexplored reservoir of microbes. Increasing evidence suggests that the human microbiota or human microbiome changes according to diet, age, lifestyle, climate and geography, genetic makeup, early microbial exposure, and even health status. Millions of microorganisms that live inside the human body, especially the human gut, play a critical role in not just metabolizing food but also in maintaining our overall health. The type and the composition of gut bacteria depend on where we live and what we eat.
One estimate says that the number of microbial cells in our body is equivalent to number of human cells in our body. The total weight of microbiome in our body is estimated to be around 1 to 1.5 kilograms. And thus it is regarded as a separate organ. And in the last few years, we have tried to understand the role that this special organ plays in our health. And that is the reason there is a lot of interest in microbiome and people are trying to study the microbiome.
Human microbiome or colonies of bacteria plays a key role in digestion, fat metabolism, ensuring resistance to infection and boosting human immunity against diseases. They are linked to a variety of human conditions ranging from obesity to anxiety and even one's armpit smell. Thus, a study of the dynamics of microbiomes could help scientists understand and treat various conditions and diseases. The Human Microbiome Initiative aims at comprehensive characterization of human-associated microbes in carefully selected ethnic population groups across India. Some 200 individuals per group have been selected for this study. The research studies under Human Microbiome Project are investigating the influence of diet, lifestyle, geography and age on the gut microbiome using the advanced genetic analysis and genotyping approaches. So the Human Microbiome Project HMP will trace and map trillions of microbes which include bacteria, fungi, viruses that are found inside the gut and on the skin of Indians.
Considering the tremendous dietary and genetic variation across the India, it is important to study the microbiome all across the country, different regions, different parts of the country, people with diverse genetic background, people with diverse dietary habits. It is important to study how the microbiome changes with this and what is the microbiome of these people in the health and how it is altered in different diseases. And that is the aim of the Human Microbiome Initiative that Department of Biotechnology, Government of India has proposed.
The subjects of the Human Microbiome Project include those whose genome would be sequenced as part of the Genome India Initiative. This will not only enable scientists to develop protocols for health-based solutions, but the microbiome data can be used for risk prediction and diagnosis of lifestyle and chronic diseases. The broad objectives of the project are generating the baseline microbiome data of Indians, defining the core microbiome of tribal populations unaffected by modern lifestyle, understanding the links between microbial composition and disease risks, creating a repository of microbial samples from healthy individuals that can help develop probiotic-like solutions.
While studying the microbiome with DNA-based methods, we will also be doing culturing of the microbes from these individuals, especially anaerobic microbes, and will generate a repository of microbes from healthy individuals. And we would characterize these bacteria in details so that this healthy bacteria from healthy persons could then subsequently be used for the treatment of the disease. And here it does not mean that it would necessarily cure the disease, but at least it will reduce the severity of the symptoms of the disease.
The methodology includes collection of saliva, stool and skin swabs of around 20,000 Indians across various ethnic groups from different geographical regions. Interestingly, people of 32 tribes from different regions, including the Changpa in Ladakh, Varli in Maharashtra, Mankidia in Odisha, Ao in Nagaland and Koya in Telangana have been included in the study. The HMP is a collaborative effort between 11 public and private research institutions and universities across India, including the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi, the Institute of Advanced Study in Science and Technology in Guwahati, and the Symbiosis International University in Pune. With the aim of pushing the boundaries of genetic research and to create world-class infrastructure and laboratories, the Department of Biotechnology established the National Genomic Core at the National Institute of Biomedical Genomics, which is a national-level research institute for genomic medicine in India. It is located at Kalyani, West Bengal, 50 kilometers from Kolkata. The National Genomics Core's other centers are Center for DNA Fingerprinting and Diagnostics, CDFD in Hyderabad, and at the University of Allahabad.
NGC is the establishment of Department of Biotechnology India for enhancing the genomic-driven discoveries and capabilities in different life science sectors such as healthcare, agriculture, into the aquaculture or veterinary medicines. And very importantly, we also work with the skill development in the genomics for the utilization of these high throughput technologies. So both our objectives are aimed to contribute for the vibrant bioeconomy of the nation.
National Genomic Core's mission includes to facilitate state-of-the-art laboratory infrastructure, catalyze genomic-driven discoveries and applications, provide regular training programs on advanced genomics and data analysis, and to establish a framework of guidance for ethical handling of biosamples and data.
All the genomic sequencing experiments that are done globally, less than 5% are done by Indian institute and industries. So still, a lot of Indian scientists, Indian researchers, we have to outsource our experiment to the abroad institute and industry companies. And with the establishment of NGC, we function to cater the needs in-house in the nation so that not only the cost-effective answers are provided, but mainly time. Time is very precious. So we should be achieving our answers in a very time-effective manner also.
The significance of the National Genomic Core's establishment is evident in its role of sequencing the SARS-CoV-2, the causal agent of COVID-19. The sequencing findings and results have been shared with the global community at the Forum Global Initiative for Sharing All Influenza Data. This project has also significantly contributed to DBT's Pan-India 1000 SARS-CoV-2 Viral RNA Genome Consortium and INSACOG.
When globally world was going for the lockdown at NGC, we started working towards establishing the COVID sequencing methodology analysis pipeline. So in doing so, we contributed towards the DBT initiative of Pan-India 1000 Genome Consortium, and NGC CDFD is among 10 national labs that are also contributed in the genomic surveillance and clinical correlation program under INSACOG. All this information that we are gathering, we are also uploading it on the GSAT, which is a publicly available database, so that it is available for the global community to learn from it and find the tools and answers for the pandemic.
The building blocks of all life, genes, hold a promise for a better and healthy world. They are also the key to future healthcare management and drug development. Programs such as Genome India and Microbiome India ensure that our country remains at the forefront of human genome research. These initiatives promise a new era of scientific exploration of life forms and would thus contribute towards the realization of the Atmanirbhar Bharat.